Hello everybody. This tutorial is going to be on how to take your sample or population numbers and transfer them into z-scores and then into standardized scores. So I'm going to start with a population that has been tested for something. We're not going to be super specific this time. And we are going to transfer these scores right here into z-scores. So the formula we're going to use for that, we're going to take, to get the z-score, we're going to take the x value, subtract the mean of everything that was drawn, and divide it by the standard deviation. So that's the formula we're going to use. I'm going to do 1. So I am going to take the x score of 54 and do that one. So z equals, I'm going to turn this a little bit. Z equals x minus mu divided by standard deviation. I've already calculated the standard deviations for this. So you can see that my population mean is 36.75 and our standard deviation is 9.27 for the population. So my x score is 54 minus my mean, which is 36.75. Divide that by 9.27, which is my standard deviation. And that will give me a z-score of 54 divided by 9. That will give me a z-score of 1.86. So as you can see from that, it's really easy to find your z-scores. Now remember, this is just standardized z-score. So I'm going to come back here and you can see that I've calculated all of our z-scores for that. Now we're going to move on to standardized scores. So if, say, I was comparing this to another data set, but the surveys that these were based on, these scores were from a different test. And so instead of having them in 50 through 20, they're, say, 20 or 1 through 30 or 0 through 30. We would need to compare apples and apples, not apples and oranges. So we would standardize them. So to standardize any score so that we can compare them, we use our desired standard deviation, our desired mean, and our z-score. So I would like to standardize this to match something else so we can compare them. I want them to have a mean of 50 and a standard deviation of 10. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to call this SS, which is our standardized score in this case. My new standard deviation times my z-score plus my new mean. So the new standard deviation that I want is 10. times my z-score. We'll go ahead and use this one. 1.86 plus 50. So my standardized score will equal 68.61. So we're going to use that on all of the population scores. That way we can compare them in other places. So that is how we transform our numbers. This is helpful in several different moments. Usually we use this when we have one survey about a similar thing is scaled 1 through 10, and the other survey is scaled 20 through 30. They're about the same thing, but we need to compare them. So that's when we standardized our scores, which is easy to do because we use our z-scores. And that is it for this topic. Have a nice day.